When you look at a great piece of art for the first time, you can sense you're standing in front of a masterpiece. That's how I feel about the new BMW 7. It's our masterpiece. Welcome, dear friends of BMW. So glad you could be with us for this special moment today. The world premiere of our new BMW 7. The new 7 embodies everything BMW is about: state-of-the-art technology and revolutionary design. It's the most innovative, cutting-edge automobile in the luxury segment. And for the first time in the history of the 7, the top performance model will be fully electric. The 7 is about creating great impressions. Here's how it welcomes you. It's a great entrance moment that literally invites you to get in and drive. Of course, it also works with your smartphone. Now join me for a first ride. This is the BMW i7, more than 600 kilometers of electric range. But our new 7 series will also convince those who are not yet fully into e-drive for whatever reason. It is the first all-electric luxury sedan to come as a plug-in hybrid or with highly efficient combustion engine as well. And soon, this car will offer Level 3 highly automated driving functions. So, you will even be able to take your hands off the steering wheel for a while. The 7 Series is one of the best cars to be driven in too. How does it feel? A bit like this, I would say. The rear of the 7 is a very special place. A place to feel comfortable. To me, taking a seat here is like taking a leap into the future every time. And speaking of impressive moments, one of my favorite highlights is hidden here: the BMW theater screen. But more on that later. Regarding technology, take my word for it, this car has everything a car can possibly have. And it's all sustainably manufactured, as you would expect from BMW. The BMW 7 is a masterpiece of German engineering and far ahead of its time. Great art moves the hearts and minds. The new 7 does even more. It moves bodies, hearts, and minds. You simply have to experience it for yourselves firsthand.
Design is at the crossroads between engineering and art. Art can inspire people in very personal and surprising ways. Often, modern art is an experience for all senses. And that is exactly what we wanted to create with the design of the BMW i7. An experience designed around comfort, space, and privacy. An experience tailored to our most discerning customers. Let's start with the interior, where we really want our customers to feel at home. First, we have increased the amount of space and the seating comfort. And then we have made the space truly warm and inviting using natural materials such as cashmere wool and leather. In this private lounge, our customer will have a lot of technology at their disposal. But following our new ShyTech approach, the number of switches has actually been reduced. In the front of the car, you will find our curved display, now in combination with our brand new interaction bar. This integrates the ambient light and air conditioning controls into a single, beautiful and rewarding aesthetic experience. In the rear of the BMW i7, we are introducing our new theater screen. The theater mode sets the scene for the most outstanding and immersive entertainment experience on four wheels. Looking at the exterior, the BMW i7 has a strong presence and very clean, monolithic shapes. The front end shows a new arrangement of grille and lamps, expressing its BMW identity through a new light signature. This signature is unmistakable and will remain the preserve for our top-of-the-line models. Overall, the new BMW i7 is a perfect expression of modern luxury, human-centric, electric, and tech magic. The i7 will make your driving experiences extremely rewarding and will create unforgettable moments on board. And now, Jenna will show you more.
Wow. Let's go check out some more. Now, on to one of my favorite features, which is My Modes. Okay, what are we in the mood for? Expressive, relax, digital art. I hear that relax activates the massage. And now I'm gonna test out the features of the captain's chair. As much as I like driving, I really like lounging. But I am curious because Adrian van Hooijdonk mentioned something about the theater screen. Let's try it out. I really want to learn more about the theater screen, and I know just who to ask. Hey, BMW. Who is the expert for the BMW theater screen?
Hello, Jenna. You should talk to Tarek Saki.
Hi, Tarek. It's so great to meet you.
Hi, Jenna. It's really great to see you.
Now, tell me a little bit about what makes the BMW theater screen so special.
So the BMW theater screen is a rear seat entertainment system with an ultra-wide 31-inch touch display that is more capable than ever.
Now, it sounds like a lot has not only gone into the design, but the technology. I would imagine this is something you and your team have worked tirelessly on.
Indeed, I can tell you that the entire team has really put genuine care to create a product that our customers would truly love. And you can combine the system as well with the magical 4D diamond surround sound from Bowers & Wilkins with over 30 speakers that are perfectly positioned to create a crystal clear audio quality.
It's definitely one thing to hear the audio, but to be able to feel it in the seats, it really does give it that 4D experience, which really takes it to the next level.
Correct. It's like your private 4D cinema lounge at the back seat of your car. And the built-in Amazon Fire TV gives access to a wide variety of content so that passengers can enjoy streaming videos, listening to music, playing games, and many more, all while on the road. And you'll also have the capability to connect your personal devices via an HDMI input.
So it sounds like the passengers in the back have quite some entertainment. What is it like for the passengers in the front?
I'm glad you asked. For the first time, the driver and the front passenger can also enjoy video-on-demand services, for example, while parking or charging. You've probably seen we've integrated YouTube over the entire width of our large control display. And this is just the beginning of a new era of in-car entertainment experience.
So what you're saying is you can actually watch my YouTube channel in the BMW?
I'd love to watch it.
Now that we have all of the entertainment covered, I think there's only one thing left for me to do. I'm gonna go for a ride.
Have fun and enjoy. It was great seeing you.
Great to see you. Okay, now let's go outside. Oh yeah, this looks great. Oliver Zipse has previously mentioned that technologically, this car has everything a car can possibly offer. And that has me wondering what highly automated driving feels like. This is a level 2. And for a level 3, it gives you a little bit more freedom depending on the circumstances. You can look around, enjoy the scenery, and maybe even take a glance at your phone. The i7 really is a car that moves bodies, hearts, and minds. And on that note, I have to say goodbye, but I will see you guys again soon.
Doing what you love is important, but it might not be as important as doing something that matters. Cat and Cloud really got started with an idea that work could be better than it is. I used to work at the skate shop in the town where I grew up, and skating was basically my entire life. All of my social connections and everything I did revolved around skateboarding. And when I got hurt, I didn't want to work in the skate shop anymore because it was too painful to be around all of those things and not be able to participate. I needed a job, so I talked to my friend who worked down the street. He's like, dude, you hang out in the coffee shop all the time. Why don't you just come work here? It'll be totally chill. And I was like, huh, I always drank coffee, never thought about working in coffee. And I did, and immediately I was just bit by the espresso bug. I became incredibly enchanted about this mysterious brown liquid. Where did it come from? I don't know, and that was the beginning of it. Most people have somewhat of a dysfunctional relationship with the work that they do. Work is very transactional. You go to work, you put in your time, you get a paycheck, and that's the end of it. I'd worked at a couple different coffee shops that were really awesome. My current business partners at Cat and Cloud, we were all working there together, and we all loved working there. But there was this cultural piece that was missing, and really what the three of us all wanted was a little bit more creative freedom and to kind of tap into that idea of what could work be if we put a lot of focus on healthy workplace cultures and really investing into the employees that are along for the ride. Sustainability for us is putting back in more than you take out. And we like to do that culturally with our employees, with our leadership. We think the world would be better off if there were more businesses who operated within that framework. People are capable of amazing things. Like, I've seen people who are way younger than me doing way more than I was at that age, and I fucking love it. It's so cool. I didn't even know that I loved coffee. I landed in coffee by accident. All I know is if there's something that I connect with and if I feel empowered to do a good job within that thing, good things happen. If you're going forth in the world, I think it's really important that you put out your best effort, that you show up and give everything your all, because you never know what might happen. Like, I have my dream job and it's absolutely by accident. In general, skateboarders, you don't want to have these rules. Like, where do you want to skate? At the park? I guess I'd skate at the park, but I don't really want to skate at the park. Like, I'd rather be on the streets anywhere doing my own thing, and I don't care if I get kicked out. I don't care if I get yelled at. I don't care if somebody tries to fight me. And if you carry that attitude into the projects you do or the businesses you create, it's way fun, and you end up with something that nobody else would have created.
everything that the Tuskegee Airmen did for us, that they sacrificed for, that they fought for. I want to continue that journey. So I'm part of that history and carving a way for the next generation.
We all stand on the shoulders of those giants, and I can't think of a more fitting way to honour that legacy than with this aircraft and this training system, because it breathes life into every pilot, bringing back that pull to the past, but to also look for the future.
It is very personal. It's been a remarkable journey from when we first started to this point, and becomes very emotional as you think about all the people that have put their heart and soul into that aircraft.
To be named after the Red Tails is quite fitting for what we are trying to do with the digital engineering, the Pathfinder for the United States Air Force that will impact generations to come.
We designed the aircraft to be highly supportable. We've incorporated a lot of lessons learned from Boeing employees who are former military maintainers.
The way it's set up, it's very logical, it's very straightforward. It's not an overly complicated airframe, very pilot friendly.
Well, I always tell people when they ask me about the airplane that it is fun to fly. The performance and capability of the aircraft, that it truly flies like a fighter and feels like a fighter. It is forgiving. We built in a lot of safety features, so they're going to be able to learn from their mistakes, recover from it, and come back.
The weight of the responsibility of having a person's life in your hand within these planes that we are building is a big job on your shoulders.
We put a lot of respect into the product.
This is a 5th Gen Plus advanced training system. T7, Red Bull, pretty cool. Purpose built, no compromise. Clean sheet from day one. It's a culmination of what our teams have created in collaboration with our United States Air Force customer and partners to include Saab and many others around the world.
This is the first airplane built under the contract, and it's really the first official Air Force airplane. I think if the Tuskegee Airmen would see us having the red tails painted on, I think they would be very proud and honored that we want to continue and carry on the tradition that they started.
We have tried to capture in this program their spirit and their legacy and everything that they accomplished, and continue to push that forward into the decades to come.
I would hope that they would be in awe, that they would see just the beauty of it all and be proud.
A huge thanks for coming with us on the journey. When you look at the aircraft, it looks awesome, because it is awesome.
If I could talk to the Tuskegee Airmen about the legacy, I would let them know that, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you guys did for the country. And then I appreciate being able to work on a historic plane. I think they'll love it. I think they'll fall in love with it.
The automotive industry faces a number of challenges. It has a huge legacy to overcome. It has 100 years of being a male-dominated industry. In order to get to a position of gender neutrality, which is what I think we're all pushing for, you've got to push that dial positively in the opposite direction.
Diversity and inclusion is something that, although it's quite popular to talk about it, but I think it needs to get into each and everybody's mindset.
Because I'm quite passionate about the idea of equality and diversity in the teams. It makes a more enjoyable environment to work in, a much more productive environment as well.
Young women need to be able to see people like themselves in these careers. That's a vital part of outreach activities in general, is to ensure that those young people can see how they could be involved in these careers in the future.
I am one of the newest graduates at Bentley. I'm one of the people who's very keen to see more women in automotive, more women in engineering in general, and I would really love to be a part of furthering Bentley's inclusion of women in engineering.
I think it's important for Bentley to play an active role in inspiring young women, because we want to to increase the number of females that there are within the automotive industry, and being quite a well-known company, it's really important that we advocate that and are at the forefront and help change the industry.
I think it's incredibly important that we get young women excited and engaged with STEM, particularly engineering, computing, science. So if you want a really excellent product, you obviously need people who are representatives of the groups that are going to be using those products in the design team, because they can bring that understanding to the table as part of the design process.
Digital skill sets, data scientists, software developers, etc., has been more effective in getting a more diverse group to apply for it and to explore it as for education.
Mentoring is a great opportunity to showcase to women what kind of opportunities are there, maybe outside of your comfort zone.
Sometimes people lack confidence, not necessarily capability, but helping, supporting and mentoring somebody can help build that confidence, show them what they can do, show them what they're excellent at.
Up until recently, I had never had a formal mentor. They'd always been quite informal, but it was something that helped me build confidence and belief in myself and helped me go for opportunities where I maybe wouldn't have gone for them without that third person and that support.
I've also been mentored by some people at Bentley through my early career as an engineer. There have been many influential women and other engineers as well throughout my life, and I've been lucky to benefit from all of them and have mentors throughout different sectors, both in engineering, in personal life and in business as well.
I think Bentley genuinely deserves huge recognition for what it's doing. To my mind, Bentley is one of the few brands who have been out there for years now pushing a diversity and inclusion agenda. They've been thinking with their brand and their products about how to appeal to a more diverse audience and customer base.
We see an essential business need for including women and diverse groups into the workforce in order to create multi-perspective view on things, to generate creativity. This is exactly what we need to tackle the challenges ahead of us.
What I tend to look for when I go to places are things that are visually appealing. When you walk down the sand dunes here in St. Lucia, just thinking of the old shipwrecks or the explorers, the first thing they saw was these long beaches and impenetrable forest. They still look exactly the same. I can't imagine there are many places in the world where you can see tons of things in one day. I want to pinch my arm and say, this can't be true. I'm in the middle of this. I think the uniqueness is that it's diverse. You could peel off layer after layer and you'll find more and more things. It's all here for you to just be part of.
May 24th, 1844. Inventor Samuel Morse opens America's first telegraph line. He transmits the message, "What hath God wrought?" from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore. 1994, in New York, 4 men convicted of bombing the World Trade Center the year before are each sentenced to 240 years in prison. Ed Smith is the husband of one of the bombing victims.
Justice is served, and the American system worked. There's a lot of people who put a lot of time and effort to get this done.
More than 7 years later, a second terrorist attack on September 11th topples the Twin Towers, killing nearly 3,000 people. 1819, Queen Victoria, whose more than 60-year rule saw the British Empire reach its peak, is born in London. 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge, one of America's oldest suspension bridges, opens to traffic in New York City, linking Manhattan and Brooklyn. And 1941, Bob Dylan, the singer-songwriter who first gained fame in the folk music scene of the early 1960s, is born in Duluth, Minnesota. Today in history, May 24th, Ross Simpson, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,